Alessandra's heart races not only from the thrill of the wolf race, but also from the scent of her destined mate in the air. But when her eyes meet Zane's, the future alpha who still harbors love for her win, the victory feels like a cruel joke. What will happen when love and pack loyalty collide? 𝐊𝐤𝐳𝐬 don't curse me with a mate. Some women fear the fire. Some women simply become it. It was a chilly night and Alessandra was out for a run. Thump, thump, thump. Her heart was racing as her paws hit the ground in quick motions. Her gray fur shone in the moonlight as she pushed herself to go faster. She had to beat Casey Falls at the next wolf race and she refused to lose to her again. Alessandra enjoyed competing in races, but not as much as she loved winning. Granted, her sister could participate too, but she was too busy preparing herself to be the new Luna of Blood Moon. That's right. Her fraternal twin sister Isabel was the next Luna of the pack, and it was a unique situation. Isabel wasn't the mate of the alpha, but they're so madly in love it doesn't matter. The pack has learned to accept it because Isabel is a beta blood, but the elders are still resistant. Alessandra does feel bad for Zane's mate though. What a terrible situation it will make for them. 𝐊𝐿𝐬𝐧𝐼𝐷𝐿 and Alessandra. Get home now. Coming, Mom. I pushed myself to go faster as I made my home. Shifting behind a tree, I put on my gray sweatpants and white tank top before heading into my home. The smell of my mother's cooking made its way to my nostrils as the door behind me closed with a loud thud. Are you trying to break my house? My mother yelled from the kitchen. It was the wind. I replied. She's too dramatic? Go clean yourself up. Your father is returning with the alpha for dinner. Do I have to? Yes, you have to. And please wear a formal outfit for once. Fine. After a nice long shower, I changed my clothes, put on a nice dress, and curled my hair before heading downstairs for dinner. Papa. I ran to my dad and gave him a big hug. He had been away for pack business for nearly a week. There's 𝐿𝐤𝐳𝐬. Turning to the alpha, I bowed my head to show respect. Alpha? No need for that, Alessandra. We're all family here. Yeah? Ally. We're all family here, said the pompous jerk who will soon be my brother-in-law. 𝐊𝐤𝐧𝐼𝐷𝐿 happens to be the love of my sister's life and my future alpha. I've been dealing with him for as long as I can remember. He's my brother's best friend and my sister's boyfriend. But with me, it's a whole other story. We never get along and it makes no sense since he gets along perfectly with the other Romana siblings. Personally, I don't like him. He's way handsome and his ego is bigger than Mount Everest. Not going to lie, Zane and Isabel always had this romance kindling in between them since we were little, and I know he would die if he had to for my sister. I'm glad she has someone like him looking out for her. The girl has endured enough pain to last a lifetime. Don't call me that, Zane, I say while rolling my eyes. Perhaps it's disrespectful to roll your eyes at the future alpha, but he's also my future brother-in-law, so I get a pass. What? He's an 𝐊𝐤𝐬𝐬 mug. Grabbing a pillow from the couch, I lean over and chuck it straight at his ugly face. That's why his face should be illegal, because it's just that good looking. Shut up, Leia. What? It's true. Shouldn't my wolf be on my side? I was caught off guard by the mind link between my wolf and me that I didn't even realize the pillow that was being chucked at me. Don't get me wrong, I have a hell of an arm, but compared to Zane's alpha genes, it's nothing. Oh, you see, Alessandra and Zane. Cut it out, my mother yells. She started it. No, he did. It's like they're still children. My papa says, you'd think he would be more mature considering his alpha title is only 2 years away. 𝐊𝐢𝐳 says, screw this, I'm out. Zane says, slamming the backyard door shut on his way out. What a drama queen. I apologize for his behavior. It's just after Lucille's death he hasn't been himself. Luna Lucille passed away 3 years ago. I was about 14 at the time, and Zane was 16. She was the light of the pack. Her luminous glow spread to every corner and our park thrived. Luna Lucille was exactly what she needed to be. A Luna, a protector, a mother, a lover, and a giver. Her fierce nature made her such an enjoyable person, and she was the person who kept our alpha in check. She was like Isabel. They truly were a match made in heaven. What 𝐊𝐢𝐳 lacked she had, and what she lacked he had. They were perfect, and it was every wolf's dream to have love like that. Then on the unfortunate day of November 23rd, we lost her. She died of heroin. When the rogues attacked, she gave up her life to save hundreds. And for that, she'll always be with us. Sadly, her passing left a void in the pack, and though we have all moved on, a sadness still lingers. It is present in the alpha's eyes as he talks to pack members. It is present in Zane's eyes when he is reminded of what he lost. It is present in all of us. This is the problem I'm talking about, Antonio. He needs his mate. The alpha remarks. What? Are you saying my daughter isn't good enough? My papa defends Isabel, but I know he is not the biggest fan of the union either. He and my mom have always pushed the importance of finding your mate onto all of us. Of course not, of course not. Isabel will be a fabulous Luna, but he needs his mate. Someone to keep him in check, to tame his wolf. And I don't know if you've noticed, but Isabel isn't what he needs. A growl erupted from my father's throat. Growling at the alpha? No. Antonio. My father bows his head, showing his submission. They might be best friends, but the only person equal to the alpha is the Luna. So, Alessandra, how do you feel about turning 18 soon? 𝐊𝐢𝐳 asks to change the topic of the conversation. I cannot tell you how many times this question has been asked by people in my pack. I for one don't care that my mate will be able to sense me now that my true scent will be coming out. My goals in life are simple. I want to go to school to be a doctor and open my own practice near the pack while continuing my training, and I believe it's pretty simple. A mate would only complicate things, and I do not have time for that. Not much. You could find your mate. I don't want a mate. But you're a female, Alessandra. You need a male to survive. This time the growl came from my throat. Remember who the alpha is. Alessandra. The words came out of his mouth dripping with authority. In rankings, yes, an alpha tops a beta, but my wolf was not backing down. 𝐊𝐢 is a stubborn wolf as well as a strong one. She would not tolerate disrespect from anyone. Don't get me wrong. I loved her for this trait, but I knew it would cause problems in the future and right now. My daughter does not need a male to survive. She is perfectly capable on her own. After all, she is a Romano, my dad said, clenching the fork tightly in his hands. I didn't mean to offend you, it's just, let's end this conversation right here, Gio. Alessandra sat by her windowsill looking at the night sky as she imagined how her birthday party would go down. A big party was being thrown for her and Isabel, since they were to be adult wolves soon. Her mother had always been one for grand things and had begun planning a month ago. Big parties, expensive ball gowns, luxury dinners, and lavish decor 𝐊𝐲𝐘𝐬. However, these materialistic values were not passed down to the youngest Romano. Alessandra enjoyed dressing up and primping out, but she did not enjoy having all the attention on her. She could already imagine the grueling pain of having to fake a smile and talk about what a joy it is to turn 18. Though she wanted to focus on the idea of the party, questions started swirling in her mind like a tornado. Would she find her mate? What would happen to Zane and Isabel? Alicia wasn't ready for a mate. Most males want a pup at the female's very first heat, and Alicia did not want a pup anytime soon. Then her alpha's questions came to her mind. Could she survive without a mate? A female's heat could be deadly without the presence of her mate. She's even heard that sometimes a wolf will stop interacting with their human if rejection occurs. Could she live without 𝐊𝐢? She couldn't bear the thought. 𝐊𝐢 was her other half, the better part of her. A life without her would be like a life alone. Oh goddess, I beg you, please do not curse me with a mate. Alessandra prayed, hoping Celine would listen. She just wanted to enjoy her last month as a 17-year-old. A girl with no worries, a girl with no problems, a girl with no mate. She just wanted to be Alessandra Amano, the beta she-wolf who could take down some of the toughest in her pack. 𝐶ATTER2 Satan will be asking for tips. Temptation is a woman's weapon and a man's excuse. 𝐊𝐢𝐧𝐬 It's Friday night. Friday night can mean a lot of things to people, but to the Blood Moon Pack's adolescent, it meant parties. The type where you can feel the booze flooding your bloodstream and putting your mind into a temporary haze. The type where the music controls your movements and nearly bursts your eardrums. The type where the bed squeaking above and the moans and groans don't bother anyone. Why? Simply because it was Friday, and Friday was the one day where you could forget. I fell into the 1% of the pack's population that didn't enjoy these parties. Okay, maybe I was the only person that didn't enjoy these parties. I never needed to forget anything. I didn't want to forget anything. The present is a different story, though. I need to forget the fact that in exactly 20 days I will be turning 18 and could possibly find the person to whom half my soul belongs. No fucking pressure there. So here I am, in front of my full-length mirror, inspecting my appearance before I go out in the attempt to forget. My body has been squished into a burgundy-colored dress that hugs my body in all the right places. My boobs appear to be, well, apparent, and my butt is even more prominent than it usually is. Oh goddess bless me. Walking into the party, I'm hit with the smell of weed, sweat, and alcohol. All around the room there are people dancing, grinding, kissing, and just partying. Alessandra. I hear a screechy voice say, "Oh hi Jackie." Jacqueline Freeman is the definition of mean. In my whole high school experience, I've only had one boyfriend. Guess who messed it up? Jacqueline Freeman. Walking in on your boyfriend and Jackie doing the dirty is something that can scar someone for life. Granted, it was his fault more than it was hers, but I had considered her a friend before that night. Ever since then, I have stayed away from the male population. She sounded like a dying cow. I don't need to relive the moment, 𝐊𝐢. Most of my anger was aimed at Jaden because he was the one I was dating. He had committed to me and he went back on it. Then I found out that Jacqueline had spread rumors about my sex life with Jaden and had called one of my best friends a slut. So yeah, not our biggest fan. I wasn't heartbroken or anything. I wanted to break up with Jaden soon anyway. I just didn't expect it from him because before he was my boyfriend, he was my best friend. I knew that Jackie and Jaden continued to see each other after, even if it was just sex. It hurt to know that Jaden had once been my best friend and now he hardly looked at me. On the rare occasion we did make eye contact, he would give me an awkward smile, look down, and walk away. "So what are you doing here? You don't seem to be the party type." "I'm not." I walked away from her, making sure to bump her shoulder on my way. I grabbed a drink from the closest bystander and gulped it down at once. "Hey, that was my drink." "Sorry." All of a sudden I felt free. Shit. This werewolf alcohol was good. It takes some really good alcohol to get a werewolf drunk, and I only had one sip and felt like I was on top of the world. I'm totally going to regret this. Now, I like dollars. I like diamonds. I felt the music take over my body and guide me into a crowd of people dancing that were just as lost in the music as I was. I like stunning. I like shining 𝐊𝐢𝐧𝐼. When I walked into my friend's party, I didn't expect to find my love's fraternal twin sister dancing like she was some sort of seductress. All eyes were on her, and she didn't even notice them. Shit. My dick is not taking this lightly. Why am I staring at her? I love Isabel. Isabel Romano is my only love. Though there is no certainty she is my mate. I love her. You don't know what love is, Zane. I think I do, Raphael. The only love a wolf can experience is with their mate. Bullshit, and Isabel could be our mate. Blocking out my wolf-stupid thoughts, I focus on 𝐊𝐿𝐲. As I watch her body move to the beat, I notice the differences between her and Isabel. Isabel's eyes were a greenish, hazel color, while 𝐊𝐿𝐲's were a deep brown that glowed golden when her wolf was present. Isabel is mature and sassy, but has a certain authority to her that pulled me to her in the first place. 𝐊𝐿𝐲 is quiet and keeps to herself, but demands respect. She's definitely the strongest young female in the pack. To see her like this right now is different, that's for sure. Our relationship is complicated. She can stand me, but I know she doesn't like me. Just like I don't like her. She's too reserved and always has a sarcastic reply to everything. Bless 𝐊𝐿𝐲's mate, because I feel bad for the poor guy. Feeling the people around me shifting from their positions, I look up to see what's happening. Everyone has formed a circle around the middle of the dance floor, and as I walk closer, I see what's happening. Slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you Trina, make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I'm gonna smash him, all speed up, gas pedal. There in the middle of all this is 𝐿𝐿𝐲. If I didn't know any better, I think she takes dancing lessons. Her hands are touching her body in the most erotic but appropriate way possible. How the fuck is that possible? Maybe it's only erotic to you. Goddess. Raphael, will you please shut up? I can smell the lust coming off all the males in the room. I'm fairly certain they can smell mine too. But could they blame me? Before I even know what's happening, I'm already standing behind her. My hands on her hips and her ass on my crotch. We start moving together to the beat and her hands go to my neck. It's like I'm possessed. I can't help but bring her closer to me. She has to be intoxicated, because 𝐿𝐿𝐲 Romano would never dance with her sister's boyfriend even if her life depended on it. Hell, she wouldn't dance with anyone like this. Period. Let's not mention the fact that she hates me. Fuck, I'm her sister's boyfriend. I have a girlfriend. Before she can turn around, walking up the steps of this gigantic house, I use my hearing to find Hero. Hero! Get your ass over here. Hero walks in with a drink in his hand and a blonde on his arm. Typical. So I hear you've been doing some dancing, Zane. Shut it. What? Come on, man, you're going to be the alpha soon. When do you think you're going to have time to party with the hottest girls around again? I've got a girl, man. A girl that isn't your mate. What do you plan on doing once you find her? Reject her. This was what I hated about werewolves. We placed this importance on mates, and unless the person you were with was your mate, no one really respected your relationship. 𝐿𝐴zebel and I actually had a real relationship, and like most of the other people our age who just slept around. The blonde gasped like she just witnessed her favorite character in a telenovela die. You can't reject her, man. If you were anyone else, then maybe. But as alpha, you have a responsibility, and rejecting your mate will bring this pack to its knees. 𝐿𝐴zebel is more than fit to be a Luna. No doubt there. But can she be your Luna? Can she handle you as your mate could? Not to mention an heir can only be produced by two mates. My kid will be my problem, not yours. No, your lack of kids will be the pack's problem, and I'm not sure if they'll handle it well, Zane. They will stand by their alpha. They won't stand by a weak one. They won't stand by an alpha who denied the most sacred blessing of the goddess. Everything will be fine, damn it. No, it won't. You know it. I know it. Your father knows it. Hell, even 𝐿𝐴zebel knows it. I love her, hero. She's my life. Wait till you meet your mate. Trust me, your love with 𝐿𝐴zebel won't compare to the one you will have with your mate. I will love my mate. She'll never be 𝐿𝐴zebel. Pulling the cigarette to my lips, I think about what Hero said. He's right about some things, but the fact that I love 𝐿𝐴zebel doesn't change. I can't give up someone I've spent my whole life with because of someone I don't know. I know I shouldn't have fallen in love with her. I know that. But now I'm in the deep end. I don't think I can escape. You don't love her. You know that. I care about her. Then stop lying to everyone by saying you love her when you don't. I do love her, Raphael. I always will. Wait till you meet our mate. I love 𝐿𝐴zebel and only 𝐿𝐴zebel. Really? Then why were you dirty dancing with Alessandra? Why did you feel the need to be with her if you love 𝐿𝐴zebel? It was a mistake. You and I both know that if you went in there right now, you'd take her to your bed faster than you can blink. That's not true. You're lying to yourself, Zane. Just wait till the time comes. After that sentence, I tuned him out. I need to see 𝐿𝐴zebel. She's the only one that relieves my stress and takes my worries away. She listens to me and doesn't think of me as an alpha, but as a regular person. Goddess, I love that woman. I rush over to my car and drive to her house as fast as I can. We will prove them all wrong, 𝐿𝐴zebel. All of them. I take the key that the Ramanas had given me to use and insert it into the lock and turn. The aroma of their house always brings me peace. It always smells like vanilla in here, and it never fails to calm me. Yes, 𝐿𝐴zebel, just like that. What the fuck? I can hear the bed squeaking, the floor shaking, and the moaning of 𝐿𝐴zebel and a male. Walking up the stairs, I pray that this is all in my head and that the girl I spent years loving isn't making love to another a man. A man that clearly isn't me, because my pathetic ass is out here. I reach 𝐿𝐴zebel's room. The room that we had spent so much time talking about, the future we had planned together. What should we name our kids? 𝐿𝐴zebel asked. Lucille for a girl, maybe as a middle name even. I told her. I love that, she replied. I didn't bother mentioning that if we ended up not being mates, kids wouldn't be in our future. She would be my mate, though. I knew it. Opening the door, the smell of sex hits me in the face. 𝐿𝐴zebel is on top of a man and looks like she's having the time of her life. Her eyes connect with mine and a sad expression graces her face. I rip her off of him and start punching him. Jab, jab, jab. Soon his face is purple and covered with nasty bruises. Blood drips from his nose and I'm pretty sure I knocked it out. Oops. You dare to disrespect your alpha. He struggles to keep his eyes open and flashes a cocky smile because he knows there is no way he'll live through this. It was worth it. He manages to get the words out of his busted lips. You bastard. My fist continues to connect with his face. The color of his face morphing from a pale white to dark purple mixed with the crimson red of blood. Zane. Isabel shouts from behind me. The rage takes over and not even Isabel's desperate cries could make my wolf stop. Her eyes are glossy and knees trembling in her naked state. She looks at me like I'm a monster. The disgust is clear in her eyes, but what sticks out more is fear. How could you? You nearly killed him. He knew what he was getting into when he slept with you. And stop it with the theatrics. Will you? You monster. Her words are filled with hate and shock. Isabel, I'm an alpha. I don't take this shit lightly. You aren't an alpha yet. I can't believe I loved a monster like you. Maybe you didn't know me at all. Because I've always been this way. I hate you. I hate you. Don't talk to me again, Isabel. Don't even breathe near me. This is all your fault, Zane. If you would have just been faithful and didn't go around dirty dancing with some random war, then this would have never had happened. I was faithful. And don't even talk about loyalty with me considering I walked in on you riding a man's dick just now. I did it for revenge. What fucking revenge do you want? I didn't do anything. I barely even danced with her. I bet she seduced you, huh? And you just couldn't resist getting your hands on her. Wait till I get my hands on her. 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐧𝐰. Or what, Zane? Are you going to kill me like the monster you are? I loved you. I wouldn't hurt you, Isabel. If you loved me, you wouldn't have danced with some random slut. But of course you did, like the man who you are. Somewhere inside of me, rage bubbles as she calls Alessandra a whore and a slut. Dancing and fucking aren't even on the same spectrum, Isabel. I don't even regret it. He made sure to make me feel so good. Her eyes glimmer with victory. I couldn't believe my eyes. Isabel Romano was the sweetest person I knew. How was she capable of doing something so hateful? It was like looking at a stranger. If you don't want me fucking kill you right now, Isabel, you better shut your damn mouth. My wolf pushed forward. He demanded respect and Isabel was not giving it. The look in her eyes was the epitome of fear. The fear that was instilled in others was like a drug for alphas. It gave them a sense of power and fed their need to be superior. And I loved it. You are not my mate. You will never be my mate. And quite frankly, I don't give a shit with who you sleep with because I don't care about you any more than a pack member. I felt myself regaining control of my body and I pushed forward. I'm going to make your life a living hell, Isabel, and don't you forget it. Satan is going to start asking me for tips when I'm done. 𝐶HAPTE are three selfish. There are plenty of ways to die, but only love can kill and keep you alive to feel it. Leo Christopherelli 1468. He stood in his study, observing his pack members as they trained. Their skin lined with sweat and their feet with dirt. The Luna Rosa pack was at the top for a reason. No one dared to mess with them. The armies they trained were as large as the other packs themselves. The strategies they were taught have been said to be practiced by the Lycans themselves. At the heart of it all was Lorenzo Moretti himself. Men respected him and wished they were him, while the ladies were ready to drop their panties by just looking at him. He was a sight to behold, they said. He could kill me and I would be okay with it, they said. I wish he was my mate, they said. I could melt at the sight of him, they said. Yet there was one female who didn't see the big deal with him. So what? He's just a man, she thought but didn't dare say. Rosanna Belusi was an interesting woman. She wanted the finer things in life and didn't mind being the center of attention. Her tan complexion matched with her rosy cheeks, and long brown locks often caught the attention of men. Her smile was as radiant as the sun, and her eyes a deep brown that enchanted men with a simple look. Those brown eyes reminded them of home, enveloped them in a sense of friendliness, of comfort. At the same time, they had strength to them, filled with willpower and certainty. Men described her as the goddess herself. Others said she was a witch who had warped her looks to gain the attention of men. How foolish, Rosanna thought. She opens her legs for any man. She's quite the whore. Her hair is too plain. Her face is too round, her laugh resembles the croak of a toad. Her nose is bigger than her brain. Her breasts are the only reason men like her. I bet her mother was a whore like her too. Rosanna was used to the rude comments of the pack women. She attracted attention wherever she went, even though she never tried. Her mother had told her it was her aura, warm like a summer day, yet strong as steel. The women of the Luna Rosa thought differently. She never believed it to be her fault that their mates were always trying to grope her. If anything, it was the male's fault. The spotlight had been on her since the day she was born, so the maiden chose to spend most of her time in the library reading. She found it to be more productive than gossiping with the other women about petty matters. Unfortunately, all this time she spent away had been shaped into whore time by the other females. She did not mind, though. Her books were her escape from the life she lived. Blood Moon was suffering from chaos. News of the future Luna cheating on the future Alpha got out, and people were starting to pick sides. She would never do that. Her heart is bigger than Celine's. Alessandra was surprised, to say the least. She knew her sister could be too, faced at times, but she never expected her to cheat on Zane. All that damn girl could talk about was their wedding and a large abundance of pups. To make matters worse, Alessandra had no recollection of Friday's events. It was already Monday, and the only thing she could remember was 𝐊𝐤𝐧, the Gemini's iconic tune, blasting from the speakers. Alessandra was focused on her training and was warming up for the race that was going to take place tonight. She didn't have time to ponder over the events of Friday. She needed to put in all her focus into one thing: winning. 𝐊𝐤𝐧𝐬, man, life is a bitch. There are many things in my life I expected, but being cheated on by the girl I gave my heart to was not one of them. She was supposed to be different. She was supposed to love me, not because of my title, but because of who I am. Not to mention that every damn pack official keeps on talking to me about how news of my future Luna cheating on me cannot get questioning our authority. Every female I see reminds me of Isabel in some way. I can hear my pack's pity-filled whispers. The poor boy. He doesn't deserve this. First his mom and now the Luna. It irritated my wolf to know that these wolves were calling Isabel the betraying cheater, their Luna. She was not their Luna, and the only Luna they would have would be his mate. Imbeciles. Our mate is the Luna. I do not want a mate. It doesn't matter. Our mate will be a gift from the goddess herself, and if you do anything to mess it up, I will kill you, Zane. With a huff, his wolf retreated to the back of his mind. My 8th birthday was a year and a half ago. Soon, I'll be 20 and I still haven't found my mate. Both werewolves need to be 18 in order for the mate bond to come forth, since that's when our true scents come out. I pray that Isabel doesn't end up being my mate. I guess I'll find out on her 18th birthday. Isabel. 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 It seems like no matter what, I can't get away from that damn woman. The truth is my heart still beats for her and my lungs only breathe for her. How can I still love someone who hurt me so deeply? I don't know what death feels like, but if it is anything like this, gotta spare me. I can feel myself dying. I can feel it in my bones. At this point, death would be better, because at least with death, you know that eventually it will be over. This seems worse than death because I have to live through it and I will remain alive to feel it. I will feel every damn little prick at my heart that comes with this heartbreak. Just once in my damn life, I want to feel free. I want to feel the rush of freedom and independence. I want to feel the adrenaline pumping through my veins when I've done something I wasn't supposed to. I want the adrenaline to flow through my bloodstream, as fast as a gunshot. When was the last time I did something for myself? When was the last time I did something for myself and not the pack or Isabel? When was the last time I had been selfish? I don't want to live for others. I want to live for me. I want to do whatever the hell I want without worrying about the consequences. We are alphas. Zane. We cannot be selfish. Technically, I have 2 years before I become alpha. And I am going to use these 2 years in my favor. I will die before I give my heart to another woman again. A woman meant pain. A woman meant suffering. But most importantly, a woman meant the loss of his desired freedom. CHAP are for birthday live every day like it's your last. Running through the woods was when Alessandra felt the most peaceful. The wind brushing against her thick silver coat and the moonlight shining against her wolf was one of the most jubilant things she has experienced. Though this time when she was running, it wasn't for peace, it was for victory. She pushed her wolf to go faster than the white wolf in front of her. The adrenaline that was pumping through her veins reminded her why she did this. When she was competing and running against someone, she felt free. There wasn't the constant strain of being the beta's daughter or the sister of the future Luna. It was all about her and herself alone. Her mouth was practically salivating when she saw how close the finish line was. With one last push, she propelled her wolf forward, which placed her in front of her competitor. Almost there, when her paws crossed over the finish line, she felt it. The sweet taste at victory. Sadly, it didn't last long because she soon began to miss the feeling of the adrenaline in her blood, the wind against her fur, and the moonlight providing her with the extra dose of strength she needed. Her birthday was approaching and she knew sooner or later she would have to face the music. 𝐿𝐴𝐲𝐻 motto of Beta, blood is the victor of this season's wolf race. She successfully defeated 3-year champion Casey Falls of Alpha, blood from the Silver Crest pack. Please give a round of applause for the Lady of the Night. As the announcer's voice disappeared from the speakers, loud cheers broke out from the Blood Moon Pack members as the Silver Crest members held their heads low. Antonio Romano looked at his daughter with pride. He knew she would be a strong woman when she was sent home for punching Zane in the face in the 3rd grade. Like the great father he was, he took her out to get ice cream after. No male makes fun of his daughter, alpha or not. Alessandra finally managed to escape from the throng of people shouting her name with pride. The next race was about to begin between a wolf from Gold Creek and a wolf from Midnight. She didn't need to be trampled by competitive wolves. Though it's not like it would be much of a competition since everyone knew Midnight would win. They always did. Alessandra always looked forward to the seasonal races between the packs of North America. It was a good way to ease the tension between the packs and definitely better than the Friday night knockouts that occurred for a brief period of time. Long story short, having werewolves fight each other was not a good idea. Zane spotted 𝐊𝐢𝐬 from his seat where he was watching the race. He hated her even more than he did before. They never got along. But now that her fraternal twin had cheated on him, he couldn't help but associate the two together. Thus, the hatred he had for the green 𝐊𝐢𝐬 only amplified the hate he had for the brown-eyed one. Even though they were twin sisters. Without their last names, he would never have guessed them to be related. Their personalities were way too different as well as their looks. Despite all of that, he was certain of one thing. He hated her as much as he hated her sister, if not more. If she could have just not looked incredibly sexy that night, he wouldn't have been tempted to dance with her. Do you hear yourself saying? You could have controlled yourself if you really wanted to. All of those other males did. Whatever. He thought as he turned away from the female that awakened his anger in his nether region with a simple look. 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐬. 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐬. Alessandra, her name being called, No shouted in the hopes of catching her attention. She concluded since the voice came from the west, it was most likely a pack member since Blood Moon always sat in the west direction of the grounds. Though, as the voice got closer, she realized who it was. Jaden, hey. I just wanted to say congrats on the win. Thanks. Jay, Alessandra responded curtly with the tone of finality that screams, I want to get away from you. Sadly, Jaden did not pick up on this social cue. So I just, Look, Jaden, I really have to get going, so if you excuse me. No, wait. I'm sorry, that's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry. For what? When we were dating, I shouldn't have cheated on you. But most importantly, I shouldn't have cut you off and abandoned our friendship. Oh, F and deaf. A smile broke out on Alessandra's lips as she remembered the silly forgive and forget tradition she and Jaden had started in first grade after he ruined her sandcastle. Jaden couldn't pronounce his R's, so he had started saying F and def instead. I can't say no to that, can I? Jaden enveloped her in a hug. I missed you. Even with her hair muffling his words, she could hear the sincerity in them. Me too, Jay? Me too. She wasn't lying when she spoke those words. Alessandra missed her best friend who she used to pull pranks with and have long talks. Sometimes it felt like he was the only one who understood her. 3 weeks later, 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 humming the happy birthday song to you is not the best way to start your day. Guys, come on. Really? What do you mean, really? It's your birthday. My bestie 𝐊𝐤𝐬 replied. 𝐊𝐤𝐬 for short was a strange wolf, but the most loyal one a person could have the blessing of meeting. 𝐊𝐤𝐬, you might want to get up, your mom is already starting her shenanigans, said Jaden. He was decked out in happy birthday accessories you would find at Party City. What a goof. Alessandra. Hearing my mother's voice so early in the morning would be normal. But on my birthday it only meant that the devil's door has opened. Guys, if I don't make it, make sure there is tiramisu at my funeral. Chill out, 𝐊𝐤𝐬, you've made it through 17 birthdays. What's another going to do? Jaden, you dummy. This is our 18th birthday. She could meet her other half. Jaden just rolled his eyes in response. I hated the term other half. It only implied that I am not a whole person and needed another person to make me whole. But in reality, I am perfectly fine and I am whole. I bet our mate is not hot. Really, Leia? Now is not the time. I'd let him bend us over, and Leia, She left my mind, chuckling, "Stupid wolf." After a grueling 4 hours, 𝐊𝐤𝐧𝐼 was ready for her grand entrance at the party. Her sister had already descended since she was older by 6 minutes, and 𝐊𝐿isandra's turn was coming up next. Isabel was rocking a long gold gown while 𝐊𝐿isandra had gone for a sparkly champagne-colored dress. Isabel's dress, 𝐊𝐿isandra's dress. 𝐊𝐿isandra walked down the stairs with grace, and the members of Blood Moon actually dropped their jaws. It was a rare occasion to see the youngest Ramona dressed up so extravagantly. They could not even recall the last time she wore a gown. The clock was about to reach 7 for p.m., which was the time of birth for Isabel, and also the time the cake would be cut for her. Everyone gathered around the cake and sang happy birthday as Isabel blew out her candles. Soon 7:10 p.m. had arrived, and it was time to cut the cake for 𝐊𝐿isandra. Just as she was about to take a bite out of the chocolate cake from her father's hands, her eyes locked with another pair of brown ones. Mate. The only problem was that the eyes in front of her held love for another woman, her sister. CHAPT are 5 cruel fate. Fate does not care about your plans. LORENZELMORETTI. She was a beauty, and that was putting it lightly. I never expected to find my mate. It's hard to believe the goddess would bless me after all of the malevolent things I have done over my life. I knew she was mine the second I saw her. It was a little over 2 years ago. She had moved here from her previous pack. The first thing I noticed was how composed she was despite being in a new environment. She didn't seem to care much about her husband. The next thing I noticed were the bruises on her body, which she tried to hide with her clothes. It didn't take long to connect the dots. Within the next day, I had murdered the bastard for hurting my mate. I ended up killing 25 people for being associated with the man who hurt my beauty. She didn't even know me, and I was going around ripping off necks like it was nobody's business. How could someone imagine hurting someone so pure? A knock on the door pulled me out of my thoughts. "Come in." In walked Julia in nothing but our lingerie. She attempted to give me a kiss on the lips before I stopped her. "Get on your knees." She gave me a small pout and got to work. Truth be told, I hadn't found anyone attractive ever since I met my beauty. She was simply too beautiful. No one could ever compare to her. Hell, if I wanted to get off, I had to imagine that Julia was her. She doesn't know she's mine yet. I haven't had any interaction with her since she moved here. I watch her through my window sometimes since she chooses to read in the garden a lot, but we have never had a full interaction to indicate our bond. Maybe one day Rosanna Belusi will know who she truly belonged to. ZNEDLUCA. When I looked into Alessia's eyes, a warmth spread through my body like a wildfire. Mate. I could hear my wolf's excitement, and I could feel the love he already had for the female in front of me. He never showed any interest in Isabel, yet he was infatuated by a girl he knew as his mate for 10 seconds. Her eyes were shining more than usual as she looked at me. First, shock was displayed on her face, then confusion, and lastly sadness. I could see her struggle to keep her tears in. 𝐿𝐿isandra Romano has never cried in front of me before, and I was suddenly grateful that I didn't have to witness such a thing. My chest filled with pain as I saw a lone tear streak down her soft cheek. She knew the love I used to carry for her sister. She knew this would lead to rejection. She knew, and it broke me because everything running through her mind was most likely true. I couldn't love her. I just couldn't. It's not even about Isabel at this point. I will not love anyone ever again. I want to live my life, and it's not possible with one woman. Yet when I saw the sadness that covered her exquisite features, I felt as if someone had ripped my heart out and put it back in the wrong place. What hurt the most was that I was the reason for her sadness, and the thought alone broke me. She quickly concealed her emotions and excused herself. Where is she going? She didn't even have the cake. It's her favorite, exclaimed her mother. I'll go check on her, said Jaden. A male will not go in my mate's room. No, I will, I said in a tone that meant it was final. He hesitated before turning around and leaving to grab a drink. Walking up the steps of the Romano residence was something I had been doing since I was a pup. But most of the time I ended up in Isabel's room or Ricardo's. The last time I was in Alessandra's room, it was because I was going to prank her. That die was there for weeks. Reaching the mahogany door with the letter A engraved on the top was foreign to me. I couldn't remember if I had ever been to Alessandra's room since we became teens. Twisting the door open, I was met with her back facing me as she took off her jewelry. Her eyes connected with mine and she left a stoic expression on her face. Alas, leave. I know this is tricky, Zane. Please. The desperation in her tone shocked me. I shut my mouth and admired her from afar as she proceeded to take off her accessories. She just looked at me and rolled her eyes while continuing what she was doing. As she got to her necklace, she began to struggle, but the stubborn woman refused my help. Alessandra was never one to ask for help. She always felt as if she needed to go through everything alone and had to find solutions herself. This was a trait we both shared, and right now I could see it as clear as day. Alessandra, the clasp is stuck. You won't get it off. Watch me. That's another thing about Alessandra Romano. The woman never turned her back on a challenge. It was admirable. Actually, I have never seen this woman fail at anything. I know you're angry, but there's no need for your necklace to suffer because of it. I approached her slowly and waited for her retaliation. It never came. I brought my hands to the bottom of her back and slid them up to her neck. It was obvious our wolves were influencing our decisions because our eyes were both glowing. I could feel the need to mark her taking over me. Before I could comprehend what was happening, my lips were at her neck in a vicious assault that was sure to leave a mark in the morning. I know I should pull away, but how could I? This beautiful woman was allowing me to kiss her delicate skin, and I didn't bring myself to pull away. The air was getting heavier and I could feel our wolves trying to push through. The sneaky bastards wanted this to happen because after the marking there is no going back. Stop me, Alessandra. I can't control it. My canines elongated and I ran them up and down the length of her neck, ready to lay my mark on her. My wolf could barely contain his excitement, and I could practically feel him looking at her neck like it was his last meal. In an instant, she pushed me away and ran out the door using her werewolf speed. Fuck. That was too close. But I really want it to happen again. After Alessandra was gone, I decided to go on a run to clear my head. I needed to remind myself why I could never do this. She was the twin sister of the girl I once loved, and it would just never work out. Thank the moon they aren't identical twins. That would have been awkward. I didn't think it would be this way when I met my soulmate. After breaking up with Isabel, I expected to fuck around and then find my mate once I was alpha and had my life together. Obviously, that didn't happen because the only words to describe my current situation are chaotic mess. This will cause drama in the pack, that's for sure. I shift back into my human form and untie the clothes bound to my ankle. Once I have them on, I retreat back towards the pack house, saying, Isabel, is she your mate? Who? My sister. Is she your mate? Her eyes were glowing with anger, and I could tell it was only a matter of time before she figured it all out. Isabel was observant like that. She could easily pick up on lies as well. Thankfully, after years of dating her, I have mastered the art of lying quite well. She couldn't actually expect me to remember all our anniversaries. Why would you even think that? Her eyes lower their glow, but it is still there. You seem awfully concerned about her well-being. And you aren't. Of course I am. She is my sister after all. The word sister rings in my ear. Alessandra is the sister of the woman I loved for a long time. You don't know what love is. I was in love with Isabel for quite some time. I think I know what love is. No, you think you know what love is? But in reality, you don't. Really? Then tell me, how do you know what love is? I felt it before. 𝐶HAPER6 I can do better. People who don't believe winning is everything have never won. 𝐊𝐢𝐧𝐸 Every she-wolf dreams for the day that she smells the heavenly scent of her mate and connects her eyes with his. Even as a kid, the idea never appealed to me. I did not want a male, nor did I need one. It only makes sense for me to feel the exact way I felt all those years ago. Right? Wrong? I didn't expect myself to feel like I needed to be with him every damn second. My wolf cannot shut up about him and has not refrained from inserting questionable images into my mind. 𝐊𝐢𝐳 is an interesting man, and if there's one thing I know about him, it is that he's isn't mate material. He's a playful male who enjoys the attention he gets from females, and I don't see how my being with him would change anything. He's a sponge, really. Soaks up every ounce of attention given and demands more. He was different when he was with my sister, but I did not see a world where he would want to dive first into lifetime commitment after being cheated on. Not that I could blame him. I would probably do the same. Either way, the mate thing isn't for me. I have my own goals and dreams that I need to accomplish. Everyone acts as if the Luna is someone important in the pack, but really without the alpha she is nothing. No wolf would look at her twice if she wasn't mated to the alpha. Sure, there are female alphas out there, but those she-wolves are badass could have a male down in 3 seconds flat. They also scare the shit out of anyone, so no one is going to say anything. 𝐊𝐢𝐬 is the soft-hearted mother of the pack. She keeps the alpha in check and the pack united. I don't know about the other wolves, but I am not about to baby these grown-ass wolves. I don't want my pack to respect me and treat me as if I am the finest gold because I am Zane's mate. I desire for them to respect me because of who I am. 𝐿𝐢𝐳, not Alessandra 𝐷eLuca, not the Luna, and not Zane's mate. I already have the respect of most of the pack because of all the competitions I partake in, the things I do for this pack, and what the Romano family has been doing for the wolves since the beginning. I do not need a mate to earn me my respect. I've already got it. Sounds like a bunch of excuses to me. Leia. What? Luna Lucille was respected because of who she was, not because of who she was mated to. We are creatures that worship the moon. There is no greater honor than being the alpha female, the Luna of a pack. My conversation with Leia was cut off by Jaden. Thankfully. Alessia? What are you still doing here? Training ended an hour ago, Jaden said from behind me. Just thinking. I'll be in for lunch soon. Don't keep me waiting, he says with a wink. A forced smile graces my lips before I turn around and continue to stare into the vast forest of Tahoe. The never-ending green meets my eyes, and from the corner of my eye, I see a bird. The western tanager. Being a wolf is great and all, but sometimes I wish I was a bird. Simply to feel the wind between my wings and maybe even feel the one thing I desire. Freedom. That I'm not a bird in the wild, but rather one in a cage. A wolf that's a slave to the bond. Because no matter how hard I try, my heart will always beat faster when my eyes connect with his. My wolf will always howl with longing, and shocks will always reach the most personal part of me if I even look at him. I can't help that I'm a slave. A slave to something that was chosen before I even took my first breath. A slave to something that was written in the stars, embedded into time, and etched into me. I'm not sure what I expected when I walked into the dining hall, but this was not it. Perched on the lap of my maid is my darling sister. Her face is radiating with happiness and her eyes with delight. I can't blame her. It's not her fault she doesn't know. She deserves happiness after everything she's been through. Yet I can still feel the slow simmer of jealousy building up, and I look away. My pack members all shared the same look as me. Confusion. Didn't they break up just seconds ago? He won't even look up at me. His eyes completely focused on her. When his eyes finally move away from Isabel's face, he looks up at me before flashing me that devilish smirk. Zane always has the same look on his face when he thinks he's winning, whether it be in a training session or pulling a prank when we were younger. He might think he's winning, but he's wrong. It's always pissed me off. TSK, babe. Whatever you're doing, I can do better. I walk over to the chair directly across from his. My lips curve into a smirk and I send him a wink. His thick eyebrow raises in question. Hey Dara, can I get a piece of your pie? Why, of course, Alessandra. Please try some, dear. Tara was a sweet lady who had come from a pack in Afghanistan. Their land was destroyed in the Soviet. Afghan war, and 𝐊𝐢𝐳's father had taken her and her family in. She makes the best food, and her pie is a delicacy around here. I dug the fork into the pie, slicing through the crust and filling. I made eye contact with Zane as I wet my lips and wrapped them around the fork. My eyes rolled back and I moaned, 𝐻𝐿𝐢𝐬, this is amazing. Thank you, dear. It's a new recipe. And it's so creamy. I wish I had my phone with me to record this moment. Zane's face was red and I could smell his arousal from here. His fingertips were curled around the table in a fierce grip and his eyes were flashing gold. Isabel smiled, thinking Zane was getting hard for her, but in reality, it was all for me. I pushed my chair back and smiled at them. That was great, Tyra. Thank you. Oh, of course, dear. Anything for you. Please excuse me, I must get going. With a hair flip and a satisfied smirk, I walked out with my head held high. I always win. Alpha. 𝐶HAPE, 7 small price for revenge, and eye for an ends up making the world blind. Mahatma Gandhi's 𝐊𝐢𝐳𝐬 running in wolf form was the best escape for me. I needed to think clearly, and it was nearly impossible with the hate and sadness I harbored for Isabel. Alessia's show messed with my mind, and some fresh air was what I needed. I want to love her. I do. The problem is I don't know how to. I've loved Isabel since we were teens. Then, in a matter of days, everything changes. My future has been set in stone for so long that I can't even imagine it being different. We were going to get married and have kids. Hell, she even had her dress picked out for her Luna ceremony. Now my future consists of ruining Isabel Romano, and I have no doubt I'll ruin Alessia in the process. You would hurt our mate for some petty revenge. It's a small price to pay for revenge. Besides, Alessandra Romano is the perfect daughter and sister. Her loyalty to her family is fierce. She wouldn't mate with me. Not if her sister's in love with me. I just have to make sure Isabel stays in love with me, which shouldn't be difficult. There's only one thing that woman really loves. Power. It was a sad realization to come to, especially when I had placed so much trust in her. Now I just feel used. Played? 𝐿𝐴𝐵 and I have always had two things in common. The love we share for 𝐊𝐴𝐵 and the hate we share for each other. I thought I would find you here. I shift back into my human form. It was normal to see other pack members naked, so I did not bother with my clothes. Hero, what are you doing here? What game are you playing, Zane? Excuse me. I'm your beta. At least while Ricardo is gone. So, I'm not an alpha yet. I can help you? Zane. He pauses, waiting for me to speak, but I don't know what he wants me to say. I know Alessandra is your mate. What? That's not true. Isabel is my mate. Now, this was the tricky part. I had a plan, and it would only work if everyone thought Isabel was my mate. Most of the time when a person finds their mate, they are quite vocal about it the second it happens. I was definitely ignoring Isabel at our birthday party, so hopefully they just chalk it up to the birth time being wrong. If she was your mate, she wouldn't have cheated. There's the tricky part. That was a rumor. Maybe to the common wolves, but the high-ranked ones know the truth. There was no point in lying to one of my best friends. I'm going to destroy her. Hurting Isabel will hurt 𝐊𝐴𝐵, so... It doesn't matter if we are mates. We will never be together. Why is that? Even before we were mates, we did not like each other. I think the mate bond has only made it worse. I think you are both just fighting it. There's no point. The bond always wins. Not this time, it won't. Look, Zane, you are about to be an alpha. You have to focus on that, and all strong alphas have lunas. I don't care who you choose, but one of the Romanos will be your Luna. Isabel will be my Luna. But you hate her? Yes, but I know 𝐊𝐴𝐵 does not want to be Luna. It's the one thing I will do for her as a mate. How honorable of you. His voice dripped with sarcasm. Hero chuckled. Something funny. It's funny you think you can change fate, Zane. But not even the strongest alphas can change destiny. It's been done before. Has it, though? The only thing that can result from denying your mate is tragedy. Says who? Says history. This will be different. I feel no love for 𝐿𝐴𝐵. I think that's because you don't know what love is. Plus, the bond draws you together, but it does not create love. That is done by your heart all on its own. When did you turn into a philosopher? Hero chuckles. He's always been a good friend of mine. I trust him a lot, but this situation is different. You are not to tell anyone of this. I would never dream of it. Good. That means you will understand why I have to do this. What? I hereby command you to not disclose any knowledge you possess of the mating of Alessandra Romano and Zane De Luca. Hero's eyes widened. I was not one to use my alpha command, but desperate times call for desperate measures. I had to make sure everyone remained safe and that this secret remained a secret. By everyone you mean a certain brown-eyed she-wolf. Shut it. 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 Out of every wolf on this planet, the goddess gives me the one who is in love with my sister. The wolf who I despise. How can you despise our mate? The truth was, he was going to be a great alpha one day. I can set my pride aside and admit that. However, he's a terrible friend. He promised my brother he would not pursue my sister. Despite all the warnings, he did. He and my brother are close, and in order to peacefully be with my sister, he sent Ricardo off to Italy where our pack owns some land. I can't ignore the feeling that I've had this whole time. I suspect he's only been with my sister simply to prove that he can. To prove that he is the alpha. My sister looks at him with love. He looks at her with the same eyes an athlete might look at a trophy. Everything about it smells fishy. How can an alpha stay with someone who cheated on them? An alpha male remaining with a female who cheated on him, one who is not even his mate, is unheard of. He will be a good alpha one day, but good alphas are not respected because of their kind heart. They are respected because of their ruthlessness. I can see it in his eyes. No matter how hard he tries to hide it, the darkness will creep forward one day. That day might be good for the Blood Moon pack, but I pray for everyone who gets in his way. Stop overthinking and enjoy the moonlight. 𝐿𝐴𝐵. You're right. I'm thinking about it too much. I raise my snout in the air and inhale. The smell of pine was my favorite, and lucky for me, pine trees were all that surrounded me in 𝐊𝐢𝐳. Wait a minute. The smell of pine was prominent in 𝐊𝐲, but not this much. It was practically assaulting my senses. My wolf inhaled some more and wiggled her bottom as she perched low on the ground. What the hell are you doing? In a flash, I was tackled from my right. My wolf was on the ground and not helping me at all. If anything, it seemed like she enjoyed this. My eyes met those of a midnight black wolf. Actually, its coat was almost a blue color if you look closely. Same. 𝐶HABTR8. There is a fine line between love and hate. You can hate someone so much you just love them. 𝐊𝐲𝐵 wolf is on top of me. He's easily twice the size of my wolf, and I'm bigger than some males. The wolf drags his snout along my neck like it's a juicy steak he's resisting to bite into. My wolf, Leia, lets out a purr. You're a wolf, not a cat. Before I can even react, Zane shifts back into his human form. Shift, he demands. I stay in my wolf form. Shift. Well, no one can deny the alpha command. I shift back into my human form. The cold breeze swept past my skin and reminded me that I am naked. Oh shit. This is not good. I don't think twice when I shift because nudity is normal among us wolves. Clearly, I wasn't thinking because now I am pressed up against a naked man who happens to be my mate. With every breath I take, my breaths are pushed against his chest. I can see his eyes switching from brown to gold, and I'm sure mine are doing the same. Blushing, our wee little wolf. I'm only little compared to you. He chuckles, which only enrages me more. His face settles back into a smug grin. Oh, Alessandra, just admit it already. Admit what? That you like me. I don't like you. Really? Because you were purring not so long ago, ready for me to impale you with the way you were sitting. That was my wolf, asshole. You see, that's interesting because right now I can smell your arousal, and you are very much a human right now. My eyes widened. I hadn't even realized. Why, you're wrong. Are you saying? His index finger trailed down me, starting from the bottom of my breast to my navel. His eyes are glued on mine while his finger continues its descent. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew I should stop him, but I didn't want to. That if I were to feel, his finger goes lower and lower as my breathing quickens. Your pussy, that it wouldn't be wet. His finger reaches its destination. He curls his hand and runs 3 fingers up and down my entrance. Liar. What a liar you are, Alessandra. You're soaked. It takes everything in me to not let a moan escape. I control it for my dignity because this asshole is not going to win. His eyes return to their normal brown and his hand wraps around my throat. Take a fucking shower. And the asshole's back. Excuse me. I mean for it to be sassy, but it comes out strangled with his hand wrapped around my neck. Your scent. It's driving my wolf crazy. I can smell it from miles away. I can't just erase my natural scent. Zane. I don't care what you do. Roll in some dirt for all I care, but get it off you. I pry the hand on my neck and send him a glare. You know, I think I know the perfect way to mask my scent. What is it? I raise my head so it's directly next to his ear. His eyes widen. I'm sure there are lots of guys willing to help me out. The eyes that were recently filled with shock are now immersed with rage. His hand returns to my neck and he grips it even harder this time. Shut up. What? Actually, I think Jaden would love to assist me. We never got to. His hold on my neck is so tight now that I can't even speak. Listen up, little wolf. If I ever find out that another man has been where only I belong, I will kill him. I've never been afraid of Zane before, but I think I've pushed him too far. His voice is so deep that I can tell it's his wolf that is talking. His hand grabs my sex in a punishing way. This belongs to me. Do you hear me? Why, yes. His head lowers so it's next to my ear. I feel his hot breath as he speaks to me with more power than I have ever heard from him before. I'm an alpha, Alessandra. I can make heads roll and not be questioned. You best remember that because I will not hesitate to rip someone's neck if they touch what belongs to me. I know I can't fight him right now. I don't agree with him, but it's the only way to make him calm down. So out of desperation I nod. Good girl. I nod again. Go home. I will arrange a meeting with you and your sister soon enough. I don't bother giving a response before I shift and run home. I don't belong to anyone. Alpha? 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐑𝐞𝐝 Raphael. What the fuck was that? Don't blame me. That was all you. Don't lie. I could feel you in my head. You were summoning your alpha power, not me. I said one sentence to our mate. The rest was all you. I would never say those things. I hate her. There's a fine line between love and hate. None of this would have happened if you didn't run after her. What am I supposed to do? I smelled my mate and I was making sure she was safe. And don't pretend you don't love her smell. I loved the smell of vanilla before I met her. Why do you think she smells like vanilla then, dumbass? It's the point. We are designed to love our mates. I'm done with you. Try all you want, but nothing will separate me from my mate again. I was running out of time. It was only a matter of when now. How long would it take for me to sink my canines into Alessandra's neck? That's the point of no return. Once a wolf is marked by its mate, they are marked for life. I need to find a solution, and I need to find it now. As I approached the elder's house, the smell of sage assaulted my nostrils. 𝐷𝐞𝐝 was one of the oldest members of our pack. She had survived the massacre that one of our former alphas had committed. Shortly after, she moved from Italy to America. Many of the wolves who had survived moved to America, and the Blood Moon pack continued on here. We have many wolves in Italy that still fall under our jurisdiction. 𝐷𝐞𝐝 was known for one thing. She and her sister were the only 2 humans who have survived being bitten by a wolf. They were bitten in a massacre and shunned by their family, which led 𝐷𝐼𝐻 to America. Her sister remains in Italy, but even she is still alive today. They were anomalies. A human is not supposed to survive a wolf bite, yet here we are. Enter my child. The bite gave them abilities. They are almost like oracles. Both of them are able to sense things and see visions that help us understand the future or warn us of what is coming. However, none of them have had a vision in years. The last vision 𝐷𝐼𝐻 had to do with the death of my mother. I enter her home, which is a nice little cabin at the edge of our territory. It's filled with books, art from the Italian Renaissance, and some gimmicks whose functions I am not aware of. Her home instantly brings me peace, and I already feel more relaxed. I see you have found your mate. What? I haven't told anyone. There is no need. I can sense it from your wolf. He's distressed in a way that I have only seen with male wolves who have not laid their claim. That's actually what I came to talk to you about. Go on. I have found my mate, but we are not right for each other. I do not want to mate with her. All mates are right for each other. It's how it works, dear. We hate each other, and you know I love Isabel. I just need a way to control my wolf and my emotions, so I don't go out and mark her on accident. Ah, I see. You are denying the greatest thing the goddess has blessed you with. Yes. Yes. But I need a way to get rid of the bond. I can't even focus on my alpha training anymore because I can smell her everywhere. And once you mark her, it's only a matter of time before she goes into heat. Oh fuck, I had not thought about that. Please, 𝐷𝐼𝐻, I need your help. You're the only one who can help me. She let out a deep sigh as her head hung low in disappointment. When she raised her head again, she looked more composed than before. Zane, one day you will be an incredible alpha. I don't need a vision to tell me that, okay? You need to understand that an alpha without his Luna is like a pool without water. He's useless. Ouch. There are plenty of alphas out there who do not have mates. Yes, but the difference between you and those alphas is that you have found your mate. Your wolf will always feel restless and distressed when he is not with his mate. It could make you a bad alpha. I will control my wolf. I promise. Please just help me, 𝐷𝐼𝐻. Mates are complex, Zane. To fully understand, let me tell you a story. When 𝐊𝐢 first created the 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐧, they were a disturbance to nature. They had no weakness. 𝐊𝐿𝐽𝐧s were nearly unstoppable. This made the other supernaturals upset, and they set out to kill the 𝐊𝐿𝐽𝐧s before they multiplied. The only problem was that they were no match for the 𝐊𝐿𝐽𝐧s. It was a bloody war, and the majority of vampires and witches were wiped out in the process. As the 𝐊𝐿𝐽𝐧s gained more power, they became more reckless. They would kill thousands of innocent people with no remorse. 𝐊𝐢 was upset that her creations had become such bloody monsters. They had messed with the balance of nature, and 𝐊𝐢 knew she had to fix it before the other gods took matters into their own hands. Her solution was one that started as a curse but ended as a blessing. A mate. Each werewolf is given a wolf, but in reality, it is only one half of a wolf. The hope is that one day, the soul will reunite with its other half and they will continue their journey even when they leave this earth. The goddess did this so that wolves had a weakness, but also a heart. It's a curse and a blessing. That just sounds like some folklore, 𝐷𝐼𝐻. No offense. Child, you are young. You do not understand the workings of having a mate just yet. So I'm supposed to just be with a woman I don't even like, so my wolf is happy with his soulmate. It's not just his soulmate, she's yours too. Her human and wolf souls both connect with yours. Look, Donata, thanks for the story, but can I have a solution to my problem? The only way for your wolf to resist her is if she's far away from you. So you're saying you have to send her away.